this last week, I started with doing props. I was very focused on this job application that was happening. So I was kind of trying to focus on more production-y work, trying to add more solid props and stuff. And I already had this lamp that I did a little turnaround of a lamp where I tried my best to keep it really solid and to show the material it's made of, like very technical production-y stuff. Then I added this clock that I was kind of only semi-happy with. That one looked a little bit wonky. So I decided to do a third prop, and that one I was really happy with. Me and my friends just sat outside. I was working on this telephone booth prop all day. And I don't know how crazy and creative it is, but for me that was a huge step. Don't have high hopes that this will get me this amazing job, because obviously that is a very professional production and they want people with probably more experience than I have to offer. But it was still a really great experience for me to see that I can now do things that years ago I wouldn't even try or dare doing, because I'd be like, oh, I'm a person that can't draw solid and I can't draw props and I can't do something that I've proved to myself is difficult well now. And I've been proving myself wrong on that over and over again, just through the nature of keeping this momentum going. I'm such a big advocate nowadays for just creating until the flow finds you, rather than waiting for the flow or your capability to find you. You know, it's like through drawing and getting out ideas, that's what really generates more ideas. And through just drawing a lot, that's obviously what has you improve and has you want to try new things and stuff. And that's really been kind of the goal of this whole portfolio thing as well, is kind of just getting in a flow. I saw this really great post this morning that summed it up quite beautiful, that was like, that you don't have to make it perfect in the beginning. That's not what it's about. It needs to, you just have to make it exist first, and you can kind of fix things, polish things later, even replace things, even dump things again. But it's just about overcoming that fear and getting yourself to a state where you can be gently creating constantly and gently challenging yourself constantly without disappointing yourself. Building that slow and gentle trust in your mind to keep coming up with new ideas with your hand, keep creating beautiful things and stuff. It's great for me because I am such a quality person, and I always thought that was a bad thing. And yes, of course, quality is also super important, and I need to sit down and sometimes have the patience to actually make something good and finished and clean. But it's also nice to be like, all these ideas that are in you, your mind is constantly creating, there is a way to constantly have them flow out and not have inspiration come up and then disappear again, and you never acting on them, which is kind of a constant state that I was stuck in for so long. So this project that I'm working on for my portfolio, the Bruder Löwenherz, Brother Lion King children's book, has been really joyful for me, especially because it has so many beautiful small different parts that I could be working on, like the locations, the characters and their souls. I'm very passionate about the story. There's dragons, there's this wise lady with all her pigeons. There's just so many little beautiful details and ideas that I can just pull from whatever I feel like doing that day. And that is really lovely. Another day of Vis Dev Portfolio work. Perhaps is done now. A very different part of my design brain needs to be activated today. That requires some very different skills, more like feeling skills. On my 4 hours, and I have some more work to do. And then later, today's Wednesday, so Wednesday is one of my favorite days because I get to bike downtown to my life drawing class. My life drawing is my safe space, my place to unwind, unravel, just enjoy. So yeah, I'm excited for this day. First, we are going to warm up though, because like I said, that's been working really well. I find that if I stay in a rhythm of creating from the heart first thing in the morning and taking breaks regularly, I set myself up for success to design all day. I believe that as creative people, we have strong designs and stories inside of us all the time, but it's up to us to keep that channel clear so that all the beauty can come to the surface and flow out freely. And for me, the way I do that is by taking breaks regularly, where I feel the sun or move my body or hug my dog. For you, that might look different, but I'm glad I found that out about myself early in my creative journey, because that way I can somewhat keep myself in a healthy creative flow state for most of the week, and I've been surprising myself with what has been coming up to the surface for me.
I'm so happy with the thing I drew today. I thought I was going to do Vis Dev work, like environment design for this children's book project that I have, and instead the characters of the children's book, or the main character, kind of flowed out, kind of naturally evolved out of the warm-ups that I did. And all day I was just drawing him, and that was so fun. I had to force myself to stop today, which I think it's important that I stop when things are still fun and not stop when I'm already feeling a little burnt out, because that will have a significant effect on the next day. And also, it is like 2 p.m. now, and eventually I need to get on with like the commissions of my work, so that's what I'm doing right now. It's also a little bit character design based, so it's kind of the same ballpark. One thing that I tend to not film or vlog is the excessive amount of rest I give to myself every day. I think I've been taking a giant summer nap every day these days, especially when doing a lot of creative designy work. It's a lot of brain work for me personally. There's a tendency to just not show that, to give the impression that I'm constantly giving it all, but resting is just as important in the creative practice as actually producing. I'm convinced that one of the reasons why almost every day I can start fresh and start over and have energy again is because the day before I stopped, before I got tired, and I have a moment of real rest in the middle. So I worked a little bit longer today, and I used to, it's like a little after 5 now, so I'm gonna take hopefully a nap, a short nap, and then before getting on my bike and riding downtown. But usually the last couple of days I've slept for like almost 45 minutes, there's even an hour, I think. That's really nice, and then I wake up and I feel so refreshed and as if I could keep on drawing, and it's really nice. This character that I'm drawing, his name, at least in the German version, is Krümel, which translates to crumb. He has a different name, that's just his nickname, but everyone calls him Krümel, so that's what he's called in the book. And yeah, he's really cute. The story that I'm making, that I'm illustrating, that has been flowing out, Brother Lionheart, is a children's book that a lot of German kids grew up with. I thought it was German for the longest time, but it's actually Swedish. It's from the same author who wrote Pippi Longstocking. I think that one's more known in America, by Astrid Lindgren. And it's a really special book to me. First of all, because that's one of my earliest childhood memories of my mom reading to me. And second of all, it's just the nature of the story. It's a very classic fantasy setting, very beautiful, very lovely world building, dragons and villages and everything I like, but it has a deeper connotation to it. The book doesn't start in the fantastical world. It starts in the real world when Krümel and his older brother Jonathan are still alive. Krümel is really sick and knows he's gonna die at an early age, and Jonathan tells him to comfort him that he doesn't disappear after he dies. He's gonna go to Nangiala, which is this beautiful place where there's cherry blossoms and it's peaceful. And then a fire happens and Jonathan sacrifices himself to rescue little Krümel, even though Krümel is gonna die anyways. And it's this really heartbreaking, beautiful story. And very soon after, Krümel passes away as well, and they find each other again in this beautiful fantasy land called Nangiala. But it's such a beautiful book, such a beautiful way to, I think, gently confront kids with the topic of death. And it's not gruesome, it's more of something really beautiful, and it's a really comforting book. And it's really special to me. So I'm glad that is the project that is flowing out for me the last couple of days. That's been feeling right, and motivation to work on this project is not dying off. I've done some houses, created some houses that could be set in Nangiala, in the village where they both live. I have a friend called Sophia who has white pigeons, and I was kind of working on her house last week, just kind of slowly getting back in the groove of designing locations and stuff. And this week, I didn't plan for this to happen, but I've been really feeling like drawing characters, and the character that floated out yesterday was Chaël. So today I was really busy with work, so I spent the first hours of the day where I'm the most concentrated on a new commission that I got that it's very fun, but it's really out of my comfort zone, so I really needed all my design brain power for that. So all I'm doing today is cleaning up the lines and coloring my little Krümel drawings. I think I already finalized his design. I didn't have to explore much. I did a couple sketches and I found him, I think, immediately, and I'm really happy with the way he looks. He's really small and fragile and stuff, and he's kind of weak and needs to be protected, but that the story, obviously, he learns to be strong, to be by himself, to find his own strength, to be courageous. This has been feeling exactly how I hoped my portfolio would feel. Feels like it comes from a genuine, heartfelt place. I can take my breaks outside, get some sunlight on my face, and then I come back and keep painting, and I can kind of let this joy of summer feed into my designs, and it's been feeling really heartfelt, and that's exactly what I wanted. Maybe tomorrow I'll start designing Jonathan. I feel like he's going to be much harder to do because he's not as cute as Krümel. He's more strong and courageous and really good looking, and everybody loves him, but he's really kind. So that's just a harder character design, I think, to make it look appealing. That might take some exploring. I could have just started with designing that today, but I just don't have the brain power today. So I'm just gonna keep coloring Krümel. And I think having days like that on my portfolio journey is okay too. Days where I'm busy, days where I'm brain fried, days where maybe it doesn't even feel like drawing. And I can just put on some Lord of the Rings music and color my lines slowly and mindfully. Yeah.
Good morning. It is 2 a.m. I'm not still awake. I'm awake again, or awake already. I'm really not a night worker. I do my best art in the mornings, but it does work if I can't sleep at night and I sit down and work on design that came to mind at night, which has been happening a lot because I've been doing so much drawing, and I currently, knock on wood, but I feel very warmed up, consistently warmed up. I didn't even feel the need to do warm-up sketches just now. Starting to work on Jonathan and Krümel's brother that I mentioned yesterday. I just jump right in and immediately could feel lines just flowing out and stuff. And I'm also hoping that this makes me kind of tired so I can go back to bed. My intention is not to stay up all night to work on this. But tomorrow is a busy day. I'm visiting. I'm taking the dog out to the countryside to see my great aunt and to take a beautiful walk there. So I won't have a lot of time to do my portfolio work all the time that I do have tomorrow. I'll probably need to focus on my paid work. So if I want to get my 4 hours in, I thought maybe it's a good idea to sit down and do a little bit of drawing and then head back to bed. That's my plan. So I'm working on Jonathan. Like I said, Krümel's big brother. He's really kind. It's cute in the book. Krümel always talks about everyone loving Jonathan because he's so good looking and so friendly to everyone, and all the girls in school have a crush on him and stuff, and he's just considering all that. He's really kind about it. He's not full of himself. And Krümer said that he would like to have blonde hair like him. He's like, no, your hair is fine. I wish I had brown hair like you. Just a really kind, good older brother. So I'm trying to capture that, hopefully without making him look too generic, but also trying to push him to match Krümel's design, which Krümel is very push. So I'll have to make Jonathan a little bit less push, but it still has to match the style. That's kind of a challenge right now. I'm gonna keep working on this until I go to bed, and tomorrow I'll see how far I get. I like these all, but I think this one is my favorite. These might have gotten a little too handsome, but this one I think is good looking, but still looks approachable. This was about an hour. I got significantly more tired, so I could just move on to the next pose now, figuring his body out and stuff, but I also really value my sleep. So I'm gonna try to get some more rest. I feel like I might be able to fall asleep pretty quickly, and maybe tomorrow we can tackle some more of this. I might end this vlog, little character design portfolio week vlog here. Looking back on everything I did this week, starting off with some props for the job application, and now getting into character design, I don't always have a giant body of work, but I am super happy with the quality of the work. It takes a while to get done. This was really just 2.5 finished designs or pieces this week, but the quality of it makes me so happy and is so motivating for the next week. So I'd rather be moving at a slow, steady pace, getting less done than I was hoping for, but having the quality of the work be motivating for the next piece. I tend to be a very quantity-focused person and not a very quality-focused person, so maybe this is good for me. Maybe it's good to have a portfolio with less pieces, but those pieces I feel really strongly about. So I'm glad about that, about the way this has been going, this has been flowing. It feels doable. It feels like I can keep going with this, and that's all I want. So I think I might end the vlog here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope whatever you create flows out
well as well. And yeah, man, I need to go to bed.